allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, folks, I want to thank you for coming tonight. We'll start the meeting off by public comment. We'll start right here. Billy?
I don't have nothing.
Ted, since you're part of the meeting?
No, I'm good.
I got a little bit to say. Since his father, Mr. Bond, was supervisor here and roadmaster, our roads were in excellent shape. Today, it's a pity. It's an absolute pity. Your people that work for you, road people, drive over this road with a load of stone that would scare you to death on their trucks. Even though it's posted, and even though they could go through from Russell City, they gotta go down the asphalt and bust her up. And it's busted. It's the worst it's ever been since I've lived there, and I'm in there now for about 20 years. I would ask that some money be put forth to repair these roads. Because right now, what they're putting in the potholes is that crushed stone that they've been throwing on the roads, and all it does is enlarge the holes. We need asphalt on asphalt. Now, the dirt roads are in pretty good shape.
Now, I'll answer you one thing. I saw the front end loader yesterday with a load of cold patching, so they are patching holes with cold patch as I speak.
Who?
Our road crew.
Where?
I didn't go out and look. I know they finished town and they were headed out your way.
The road crew spends 2 hours every day in the morning riding around the township to see what they have to do. Then they come in for a break, and then they go out with their vehicle. And that's an everyday occurrence, and it's thousands of dollars wasted.
I'm glad.
Because they don't do that. I mean, anybody else would have been fired by now for doing that. They do it every day that they work, with the exception of when it snows and one of you guys get on them for going out and plowing. Because other than that, they go by my house at 7:15 and they go around the whole township, and then they come back here, they take their break, and then they go out to do what they should have been doing at 7 o'clock instead of 10 o'clock. And that's many, many, many thousands of dollars. It's at least $1,000 a month it's costing the township right now for nothing. There's no reason in the world why they have to ride around day after day. If there's something doing something wrong on one of the township roads, they would call into this young lady or one of you two at the present time, and it would be taken care of. But to ride around doing nothing at 10 to 15 miles an hour, it's repulsive. It's getting out of hand. And it's been doing that way now for like 3 years.
Okay, you done?
No, I'm not done. But
Well, your
I'll
time's
shut
up.
I'll shut up.
I'll address that. I'll address some of your comments at a later point.
I'd like to invite everybody this Friday at the K Memorial Chapel in Cave from 6 to 9 p.m. Misty and myself are putting together an event to raise money, and it's the Stress Less event, and there's going to be vendors, homemade chocolates, homemade jewelry, crafts. So stop in, have a glass of wine and some cheese, and enjoy yourself
Thank you.
Thank you.
Where's that at?
at the K Memorial Chapel
Oh, okay.
on Chestnut Street.
Yeah. Oh, look.
Tommy? Thank you. Comment period's over. Make a motion to approve the March minutes and to accept March treasurer's report and balance sheet.
I make a motion we approve March minutes and accept March's treasurer's sheet.
I'll second it. No comment? Oh, done. Okay, we go to correspondence. I'm not going to read these all off. Letter from Flynn Environmental Inc. They're doing some work out on Sackett Road, right? And Pigs, or not, but Owl's Nest
Owl's
Road.
Nest,
Owl's Nest
that's what
Road.
the Pin Oaks is doing.
A letter from Elk County Tax Claim Bureau. And I'll make a comment on it. I'm going down, I have a meeting tomorrow with the county commissioners. I'll go in to ask the county tax people if some of our residents can make payments on their sewage tax. I talked to the tax collector yesterday, and she's willing to work with the residents in James City if they can put this on a payment plan rather than have it paid at one time. So I'll talk to the tax collector tomorrow if I can catch him, or the county commissioners. Yes,
I do know that if you're behind on your taxes and all that, they do accept it after, like the sheriff comes to your house and stuff. That's when you.
that's when you can make a payment.
And that's when everything is done. Once they get their money, they'll send it out to all the individuals.
Well,
So it shouldn't be a problem because they already do that now.
Well, she and I said if they make a payment plan so they don't get in arrears.
You're talking present taxes, right, not back taxes?
Correct.
Right?
Oh, okay.
Correct. Present taxes.
I thought
Pres-
you were also
No,
talking
present
about, okay.
taxes. Back taxes are between you and the tax collector
Okay.
in the county. I'm going to be down there to meet. I have a meeting with the county commissioners tomorrow. So,
Okay.
the letter from CoStars. That letter from CoStars
It's in there.
is about the salt, right?
Yes,
Right.
it's our salt
Do
contract.
we have to vote on that?
It's probably cheaper if we vote on it now, isn't it? If we,
Well, no. We need it's past due.
is it?
The letter from CoStars is the salt, road salt.
There you go.
Okay. Okay, this is
I put
a,
'em all in order.
You do good. Yours is very good.
this is just a salt estimate for the year.
You have to do a contract for the salt,
Yeah.
so that is our contract for CoStars.
What they're telling you is your required 100 tons are not an estimate. You're legally obligated to purchase at least 60% of your stated needs. So in other words, we purchased 100 tons, which we have been in the previous years. And it says here, we can purchase up to 140% of your required amount. All right. We need a motion to accept that or do it. What do we got to do with it, Kerry? Anything? Just send them out something?
We'll give them the appraisal for 60.
Yeah, that's
I
our,
mean,
that
that's-
is our salt contract.
Correct.
We've
That is-
already,
yeah, okay.
I mean, as long as we do the 60,
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, we sign up for 100 and we can do a minimum of 60.
Yes.
Yeah, in other words, you can do, and you can go up to 140.
Okay.
Because we're out of salt. We run out of salt at the right time this year.
Okay.
and maybe that's something we could talk about. Maybe we could, I mean, we gotta look at the PennDOT book. Maybe we can weasel in a little more anti-skid.
Yeah, but he did it. He put
I know,
more.
he was
He
going,
went 3-1.
he went to 3-1.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
okay.
I mean, at least if we get to 60 and get Tom squared away, and then we can work off the rest of it. I make a motion, we approve CoStar's, what would it be, appraisal?
Yes.
I'll second it. Minutes from Elk County Commissioners. Letter from Elk County Planning Department. I don't know what that's about.
It's raining there.
Is anything? Did you lay these up so people could read them if they wanted to?
Yeah, I was going to, but
Well,
we
no,
had
it's the
an
same thing. If
interview.
you hear anything that you'd be interested in that we don't cover, please ask and we'll gladly make copies for you. That way we're not wasting paper.
Yeah.
You got anything on that planning commission, Jim?
Haven't got the quarterly yet.
Okay.
I think it's just about that CD.
They
Yeah.
send it to you
CG,
guys
CDG,
first.
Yeah.
CDBG program.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
what
telling you
that's
that it's about the DCED programs, what it is. All right. permit application from Penn Hills Resources in Howe Township. I guess that's just because they gotta notify the neighboring townships of their permit application. Permit application from Seneca Resources in Jones Township. There again's the same thing. That's all of the correspondence that I have. Committee reports. Marcia's not here yet. I see Marcia once a week. She's doing her rehab work, and she seems to be doing quite well with it. Yeah. She's driving anyhow. Yeah. Maybe she'll be back by the time the weather gets better. How about you, Billy? You got anything to
Only thing
report?
I got is we were busy last month with shutting 948 down and the weather. Trees down on 948, just road closures. Because PennDOT doesn't make it up into our area that often.
Well, I was coming in from Ridgeway the other day in that windstorm, and I was third vehicle in line up against a tree.
Yeah.
Thank you for what you do.
We appreciate that.
Yeah. You know
Thank
how I don't have to tell you how
Thank
I
all
feel.
you guys.
Standing out there in the road for
Thank
hours
you.
and hours. And
Thank you, Missy.
I have something.
The road department, I think Tommy got a note wrote out here to people.
she has something else with the fire
Fire
department.
department. Amy Beers and I attended that EMS conference in March that you guys helped pay us for. Between the two of us, we got 38 credits. Means we attended 38 courses between the two of us. We have a lot of great information to bring back to our township. A lot of like street survival for EMS and firefighters, that kind of stuff. A lot of PTSD training and how to recognize it in each other. Amy did a lot of like for patients of our visitors and our residents of Highland Township. She took a lot of that training. I focused my training on more of the Highland Fire Department and that kind of stuff, so we were able to diversify our training really well. Like I said, it was a very well received course. There was thousands of EMS paramedics and EMTs that were there, and we learned so very much that we got to bring back to the township. So it was a great asset to not only our fire department but also the township as a whole, to both our residents and our visitors.
One question, how's the cracks in the floor? Are they getting worse or are they staying about the?
They're staying about the same. Just
I get-
the parking lot out there is still, from over the winter, it's just still, the
Well-
one spot was dug up. That just needs like a little, once weather gets better. more
Once you
stuff.
get you gotta get the frost and the weather out of
Right.
it. You know,
Yeah.
you
That's
get down,
why I haven't brought it up at all.
you get down the dirt road now and you can see it rolling out in front of you yet
Yep.
because of the frost. Okay, yeah, and I get settled down here and get some of this stuff taken care of. I'm doing it. I'll meet with you and we'll look at that and maybe come up with a fix for it, okay?
Okay.
And I have not approached the parking lot area yet. Hadn't given that any thought.
That's, the parking lot's the main thing. I'm not worried about inside the building because that's fine. It's
Yeah,
just
that
the
structural engineer.
parking.
Main thing about the inside of the building is the water running down the cracks.
Yeah. We try to keep all the water away from on that side, except in the winter time when we're out. That's
And
pretty much the
there
only.
is somebody that takes care of them cracks, and they
Yeah.
have a method of doing it. It's just a matter of what it's gonna cost,
Okay.
okay?
And even a short-term fix, if we don't have the money, they don't have the money, maybe we could look and grade it, because you've seen that material they put in it. Anything to keep it in there from degrading your in-floor heat. That's
Right.
what we're after. We don't
Yeah.
wanna mess up your
Yeah.
heat, and we don't want nothing to heat, get your
Right.
heat messed up.
They
So
run,
far, everything is still good.
they run a crack chaser down them cracks and beat them out, treat them, caulk them, seal them with a special sealant, and then gives and takes with the floor.
Okay.
Road department's got a,
I got a
letter,
list of what
okay,
he
if
did.
anybody wants to read it. Old business. Seneca 2 lawsuit is settled. It's done. As it stands right now, I think we're lawsuit free. Is that correct, Carrie?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
We got the letter from the solicitor, the Seneca Two's settled. I got a letter from the EPA the other day.
Didn't everybody?
Did you all get it?
Yeah.
They gave a permit to Seneca for the new well over here we had that hearing here 6 months or 8 months ago.
So now there's not one going in, there's two going in.
Yeah.
And possibly a third one.
Well, we knew that before they put the first one in.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay, John, I'll address the road department riding out every morning. They ride that is a standing order for them to check it mainly for trees down.
Why couldn't the people, if there was a tree over the road, call this lady, call you, call him?
Well, she's here like 20 hours a week. And this has been going, this is not something new, this has been going on for 30 years.
Well,
They go out
I don't
and
think so, I never seen Sonny Vaughn go like that.
Well, he's had it done, he done
But
it.
I did see, since the man that you fired, since he was roadmaster, the one that was in the truck wreck there, or whatever you did with him, you let him go.
I didn't have nothing to do with it.
Well, I'm just saying, I just don't mean you.
I was one of the ones that hired him. I thought he was a good employee.
I thought so too. But anyway, since he's been there is when this started.
Well, I think your dad used to run a road check every
I mean,
day.
I don't know if they took the road check where it was one guy and they should call. I mean, maybe it's something we can address. We can see what Tommy's doing. We'll sit down now that you brought light to it. Let us sit down. We'll talk to Tommy.
Well-
You're talking right up till break time, and then after break time, they consider what they're gonna do, and then they go out and do it. Now, you're talking 2 hours of doing nothing. But
I don't-
riding
I know,
around in the township, that is completely totally.
I'm not gonna argue with
That's
you about it,
$1,000
because
a month, right?
I check them periodically 2 or 3 times a week and go over with
I
them.
would sit there in the morning and watch them go by.
Well, yeah, I'm not denying they don't go by.
Yeah.
That's part of their duty.
Well, if that's it, that's pretty poor duties because.
Well, that's your opinion, John. You're not running the show.
Well,
You're
if
commenting.
Lucky I'm not,
Yeah, yeah.
because you'd be the
But-
first one out the door.
Well, you wouldn't get no cherry. I'll tell you flat out right. I've been fired before, and I've been fired by better people than you.
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, I think so. All right, that's enough argument.
I'm not arguing.
I am.
I'm just trying to tell you what's going on.
but
You
you,
don't seem to wanna
but
listen.
you thought the dirt roads looked pretty adequate. That everything looked
The
really.
dirt roads are, with the stone that you're putting on, that heavy gravel is holding the stones up real
Right.
good this year. Real good. That's the best I've ever seen them out there, because usually between Sackett and up by the tower there, that road usually just, you can't hardly get through it. This year, with the amount of traffic it's on, which is very, very heavy, because of the new well's gonna go out to Alsoness too. You got 30 wells gonna go in out there, by the way, so they're telling me. But anyway, the traffic going out there is heavy, plus the truck traffic, because they can't come in from the Russell City area, is extremely heavy at night, because that's the way they're sneaking in. But the dirt, when I walk it, which I walk every day, it's held up better with the gravel and the heavy
Right.
gravel.
We had a
But it's
big
tearing up
discussion.
the asphalt terribly.
We've had a big discussion about the stone and the asphalt and the blacktop, and there's a big discussion, and Matt and I will hold a discussion with the road crew here shortly about policy on what to do and where we're gonna do it. But it's really the feeling of everybody around that the heavy stone on the dirt roads is doing its job.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah,
It's tearing the asphalt up and it's doing the job on the dirt. I'm not
Yeah.
arguing that. I'm arguing when you need to put asphalt on asphalt. To put stone in, you're just making it bigger.
On the asphalt, they should be putting salt and anti-skid mix.
I'm talking about fixing the
Fixing.
holes and.
Well, we
well,
got to make sure Tommy's going to take cold patch out there.
Well, they're
And I'm
cold
sure he is,
patching
because he
now.
just told me he went and got a load of cold patch, and he's
They're
starting to get
cold
cold patch.
patching now.
You've got strips as long as this building right now that's gone. You need tar and chip or something out there. I mean, if you go out and drive the road, you can see it. if you walk it, you're gonna have tears running down your cheek. That's just the way it is.
I'm going out that way tomorrow.
Well, do that.
Yeah,
You're going
I'll-
out, when you come back, go through there.
Yeah, I've gotta, we gotta go look at the box culvert down there in Hunter Run tomorrow.
Them new contractors that got that, John, I talked to him today. The new contractors seem like they're gonna be pretty responsible. We still got a bond bid from them and everything else, but we're gonna offer them an olive branch, cause they really wanna work with us, where we don't have to call the bid on them. They
What's-
seem,
Well, the contract,
the new people that bought the new wells out from Seneca. Seneca, I don't think is gonna own that anymore out there.
Seneca don't own the low head wells, the 2,500-foot wells. They sold that about 2 years ago.
no.
No,
We're
this is
talking-
the
we're talking
Marcellus. This is the
The
Marcellus.
Marcellus,
They
right.
sold the Marcellus out there too.
Oh, they did? Oh, that
They're
hasn't,
building like mad out there for doing something.
Yeah. What they're gonna do right now is the contractor was in there. I'm pretty sure until everything gets straightened out. I don't want to be wrong, say the wrong name or anything else. I'm being kind of careful. I'm pretty sure another contractor bought them out from what I said. And they got a project going in there. I know they got to tap into National Fuels pipeline
Yes.
and some other stuff. And don't quote me on this, Ted, because I might be a little bit messed up. But they seem like the gentlemen I talked to that are running it. They seem like they're pretty good guys.
No, they're good people.
They want to make sure that we get a hold of them before we call the bonding, because they want to take care of the roads. And I thought that was very impressive for
Yes.
them to come up and say that to me.
Well, certainly, yeah, they're not bad people. I didn't mean that.
Well, we're looking. I'm just getting to the same thing, John. We're trying to take care of the roads. We're trying. What boat we're in? We're trying to pinch pennies, and trust me, if we had it, we'd be the first two out there. We'd have the blacktop machine out there. We'd have it in every street in James City. Everyone would be blacktop if we had it. We're just trying to figure out how we're going to do to fix everything. That's where we're at. And I know it's degraded, and I know there's problems out there, but like I said, you got to bear with us. We're trying our best to get stuff done. And I know you're going to say why, and you've been waiting for it, but we are trying. I mean, you can't get blood out of a stone. And we're not going to break the bank to take care
now,
of
we're
everything
working
we
with
can.
about 1/3 the funds that were available 5 years ago. So, just so you know. Okay. Under new business. Phyllis Baum asked us if we'd put a pipe in her driveway like we have other people. If she purchases the pipe, I have no problem with it. But I told the road crew, we're not gonna run out and do that just to go over there. If we're working in the area and they can go out and do it, we'll do it. It helps us and it helps the landowner.
Do you want to make a motion? We
No,
approve them, do it?
Yeah, you can.
That way everything's legit.
Right.
That way it's not on your butter. It can be on
Okay.
both ours. I make a motion that when the road crew's in the area, as long as Mrs. Bond purchases the pipe, that they have our permission to put the pipe in for Mrs. Bond.
I'll second it.
Can I stay on that subject? Can I stay on that subject real quick? What can I do with my driveway? Or what, will you do anything, or do I have to do it myself?
The driveway's your responsibility.
I didn't dig it up.
The your entrance,
What can I do? What can I do?
I'd have to look at it.
Eugene, as long as whatever you do in your driveway doesn't cause any interference with our road, i.e. have water run on our road or do with it, it's your property.
'Cause
The-
I've got the water line under there, I got the sewer line under there, I've already got a pipe that goes from one end. I got a drain at the, utility pole, and I got another manhole at the other end of my yard. I cannot put another pipe in there.
You have a big pipe in there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've always had it in there.
Now-
That's why I blew a stink when they did that last year. They said, we'll put a pipe in, like I can't put another pipe in.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, you are tight with clearance in there. You just can't go down.
No, I can't.
No.
There's already pipe there.
You know, what I've done myself, the PennDOT does the same thing. I just cut a little swale in there and let the water run off the edge of the road.
Well, my car's dragged in and out of there.
Yeah, but cut a little swale in it so you don't drag
But I can build it back up.
when you get up, and just so the water stays off the blacktop.
Right.
Okay?
Well, I know they were gonna kinda.
If you want, I can meet with you down there sometime and we can discuss what you can do, give you my
I
ideas.
just don't wanna do something and.
No.
If you want to get both of us, I'll gladly come down. But that's the main thing. This administration, as long as water's not running on the blacktop, it's your driveway.
Cause it's just one hole or the other. It doesn't even come across my driveway. You know, the one hole touches it, the other hole. Right. I know there was a big problem when Johnny Emer did it last year, and I don't know if they're gonna call the FBI, CIA, I don't know what they're gonna call it.
Johnny's fine. Johnny, we walked down there. I went down and looked at it. Johnny's not causing anything to happen to our roads, and the water's still
As long as you
draining.
keep the water off the road.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in all theory, the road's supposed to be crowned. It's, you know, it was built to be crowned, but you know, through the years, you don't know what's got in it. But all we ask is you maintain your driveway entrance so you can get in and out and the water stays off of it.
Sounds good.
The sad part, the roads were fine until they double ditched everything
I
around.
agree with that one.
Everything was fine until they double ditched it. Come on now,
Only
it's
one
all
side.
over.
No
Both sides of the
comment.
road.
Well, no, not certain few people, no.
No comment.
You mean the 4-foot ditch I got?
Oh,
Mine's 13 inches, John, right in my driveway.
Mine's 4 foot.
Okay, approve the work schedule for the road crew. It seemed we got into this last year with the previous administration. So road crew traditionally around the 1st of May goes on to 4 days a week, 10 hours a day. And this lasts till the 1st of November. So to cut this down, I'm gonna make a recommendation. We pass a resolution that the work crew can, they're not must, can change their schedule around the 1st of May to 4 days a week, 10 hours a day is their work schedule. After the 1st of November, it goes back to 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. Yes,
What's that benefit?
it saves us 20% moving. We don't, you know, you're out there and it saves them running back. It gives them 2 more hours a day out on the road rather than coming in and it
We're
cuts
just trying,
down.
we're trying to limit their steps. We want 2 more hours of work a day. We don't want as many trips from this township building back out there, which I know you're gonna smile. But we want them, once they stay working, it gives them 2 more hours of work.
It works out quite well doing it that way.
And it saves on our equipment.
And that's been going on for years and years and years.
Years.
And didn't Charlie do that all the time?
Dad's the one that started it, and I mean, if you can get on a 410s and everybody's working and doing what they're supposed to be doing, it's the most efficient schedule in my mind.
Okay, you want to pass it?
I second the motion that we approve the newly amended work schedule for them.
Okay. Discuss a concrete pad for cold patch behind the salt bay. I looked that over with Tommy and Jeremy the other day, and I don't see anything wrong with it. They want a concrete pad back there, but, you know, I told them, explained to them that when we get concrete from a supplier, we gotta have 5 yards minimum.
Well, how big are they looking?
We'll make it, I would say 12 inches.
Do they want to put it right underneath the existing overlook out there?
Yes, right underneath, between two columns, and put it on there, and you can't do it until the trailer's out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
And I was looking to see if we could find another place to wash out some concrete,
Well, that's going to take more than 5 yards.
No,
Why
it
they
ain't.
just make it? Did you do the math on it?
Oh, yeah, I did it,
Okay.
yeah. So we'll look at that.
What about dumpster days? You skipped that one.
There's probably a reason.
Come on, these people have garbage in their house for 365 days. That's the only time they get anything out of their house.
I know, and it's the only thing we can give to the township. We'll discuss,
Let's skip it this year.
let me get on this thing, and then we'll bring up you had no problem with it. We need a motion to put in a pad for the salt bin.
I don't.
I don't think for the black. No, we'll just put it in there when we get it ready, okay? The trailer outside, our heavy equipment trailer, costs a lot of money to fix it. There's over $2,000 worth of tires alone on it, and plus another $4,000 worth of
Airlines,
wiring, and so
new
forth.
deck.
So Matt and I looked at it, and we decided we're going to talk to.
We're going to talk to some outside contractors, and some of us, what we're trying to do, it's not that we're pulling favors, but some contractors are better to us. We're going to plan on seeing if we can get a price from them We want to move it as far out as we can, start our work, bring it back so we can make 2 moves. It's not that we're completely tabling getting the trailer fixed. We are going to get the trailer fixed when we eventually get the money. But it's just not on our priority right now. Our priority, I think our money be, me and Jim decided our money be better spent, it'd be minimal the cost to have it moved twice a year till we can get the money, so we can allocate money other places right now.
That's basically to move the roller because it's not made to run on the road like the rest of the equipment is. We move it in the spring and move it back in the fall or something, and we don't have to put so many road miles on it. All right, dumpster days. I'm glad you brought that up. It's somewhere it was on there and I didn't see it. Oh, one other thing Tommy brought up to me. You know, they swept the streets in James City here the other. What a godsend! You got to do it when it was wet for a change, but it also snowed on it 2 or 3 times, and we had to use all salt instead of the mix to get it. So his suggestion is we don't start sweeping roads until after April 15th from now on. I'm going to expand on that a little bit and say if the weather's better and he can get it, you know, we're at Jones Township's blessing to use their sweeper. So we'll try and keep it around the 15th of April to start sweeping the streets. Rather than, you know, we get caught. This thing sat here for a week in the snow, which is unusual to have it. So he just wanted me to remind people, especially residents in James City, that probably next year it'll be around the 15th before we do it.
Jim?
You mentioned Jones Township, and I don't know what kind of arrangements you have with them to use the sweeper, but maybe you could get some kind of an arrangement with Jones Township to borrow their heavy equipment trailer.
Well, we were trying to get it closer to here.
The only thing about it, Jim, and when we start that, it costs us more to go get the darn thing and get it and switch it and take it and bring it back than it does, you know, for a couple of hours on a lowboy in a truck.
Okay.
It might be the easiest way to do it.
That's fair, but you know,
Yeah, I
just as
agree.
a member of the audience here, you know, and we don't know what all you guys are doing.
Yeah, well, Jones Township's really been good to
Very
us.
good to us.
And, you know, we take care of a section of road for Jones Township also. So I got to, and one of the supervisors from Jones Township told Tommy last week that Jones Township is buying a paver. And if we see the need to use the paver, they'll be willing to lend it to us.
But I think that they were only going to run DSA through it.
That's all it goes through, it's DSA. Yeah, no blacktop, it's a DSA paver. And if you do stuff for the Western, you know, Elk County Conservation,
District.
you put that DSA down, you gotta put it down with a paver.
Well, you guys on this subject to Jones Township, or do you know if they're gonna do anything with part of the road over there, fixing that up, in case we actually need that road for like when James City Hill is down?
James City Hill still have 1 lane open.
No, I'm not talking about this time. I'm talking about like in the winter time. When we have to actually, if there's a bad accident, like
Well, in the
2
winter
years
time,
ago.
we plow that road.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
plow that road all the way over to the Highland Road.
I'm talking about the patching of the holes. And are
we
they gonna
we'll,
try to fix that up a little bit more over there?
Oh,
Or
ask
because
them if they'll
we've had
fix
a lot
it.
of people complain when we send them over that road when we actually have the hill down, when we got it shut down
Yeah.
either for our accidents or Kane.
I mean, we'll ask them, but I really kind of want to go Ginger because they're just that street sweeper alone and everything. I mean, they're very good to us. Very good to us.
I was just wondering. I'm not bitching or anything. I was just
I
wondering if they
wonder
were-
when they open that Seneca up there, what's gonna happen to that road? Cause that road's just a wing and a prayer. I know.
I mean, our part of the road, we're bonded. I mean, if we got to call the bond in on them, I mean, we'll do the same thing. We'll inspect it. I mean, you're looking at that coming in, and which hopefully they don't use it because it's going to be a nightmare for us.
Well,
But-
they told Jones Township they're not coming in that way.
They're coming
No,
in
they're
our
coming
way.
in off of 66.
They're coming in off 66 because it just makes more
Yeah.
sense because it's closer and it's less roads they got to bond. They don't have to bond the main drag coming in, which would be 66. They just have to bond our portion going up
So
to
you
it.
say if they destroy the road, they'll fix it?
That's why we got to bond them. Whether we got to talk about increasing the,
That's what I think.
you know what I'm saying. That's why.
This is going to be an experience.
I think so too.
Yeah, I really do. I hope that they treat that road as good as they do some of the state roads, like they did Lindy Trail. They went in and paved Lindy Trail before they started hauling water out of there a couple years ago. So maybe I don't know. Since the lawsuits are all settled and didn't cost anybody a lot of money, maybe they'll do it. I don't know.
We'll have to wait and see, I guess.
Because whether you guys realize it or not, that's our main way out of James
Oh,
City.
No.
Yeah.
we're well aware of it.
The 66 is shut down.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, we're well aware of it.
And that's why we've always had a freestanding thing. If it is, like you know, you call me. If it's bad, that's why we're on the horn. We get Tom. Worst comes to worst, that's why we got keys. We jump in a little truck. I mean, but I think the road plowing got better. That's something that we're all trying to work together with, is to keep it open and keep going.
I could say a few things, but I'm not going.
We're trying, Bill.
No, it's not a problem with the plowing. It's a phone call after these two said something to a person. It's a phone call that I got the day of. That's.
Oh, I didn't hear that one. I'm
I
sorry.
heard
know
about
I haven't told none of you guys yet. Misty knows about it.
Well, sir,
Let's do it after the meeting. It's better.
Yeah.
That's the way
Yeah,
Billy
I
wants to
wanted
keep
to
it.
talk
That's-
to you in
Yeah.
private.
And if it's something we got to rectify, it's better it comes up me and Jim. That way we're not doing it, and then we'll rectify it.
And as soon as Matt gets a spare minute and we'll put a box and a key on that fuel pump and then you'll have a key to it. then.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with that.
Yeah, okay.
It's about the last thing I brought up at the township meeting, and you guys talked to a person, and well, I'll talk.
We'll
to you
discuss it after the meeting. It's better that way.
Yeah.
It's off the record.
Okay. Trash collection.
We got to bring up the hiring
Huh?
too. We got to bring up the hiring of that
Yeah,
gentleman.
yeah. Trash collection. Everybody, last year, they had the dumpsters put here in James City, and it was for one day only. Am I correct? Does anybody have a problem with that? I mean,
What's wrong with the
I
rest
think-
of the
huh?
township? What's wrong with the rest of the township?
it's finances, Tommy.
We'll put them out there.
the camps put a lot in there, and there's nobody to watch it.
That's the biggest thing, is, you know, we had it, they did it there.
Yes, they do, a hell of a lot more than some of these people in this town.
As long as they pay tax, I suppose they're.
They
I would like to
can't
see it back, you know, a dumpster in Highland and a dumpster in
Russell City.
Russell City.
Yes, sir.
But here's the thing about it. Do we want to spend the $4,000 to do it?
Well, you had them here this year, have them out there, or you had them here last year, have them out there this year.
You just don't have the room out there to put them.
Well, I think if we do it, we should pay one of our people to go out there and make sure they're Highland residents, and we got to cap it. Yeah, that's been the ongoing problem out there. I think my personal opinion, I think some way or another we should scratch it up and at least get one dumpster out there.
I agree.
I mean,
because,
I
you
know we're broke, but I think the people out in Highland deserve it just as much as anybody else. And
Right.
it's
I
not
agree
a
with
James
you
City thing.
100% because we don't.
You have to have somebody there because
We got to have somebody there and watch it because they're coming from Ridgeway tires,
The tires
and
are the
everything
big
else.
problem.
Yeah, I seen
You
them,
know?
but hey, I'm a mere woman. I wasn't gonna go over there and accost them, you know, I thought, forget it.
I mean, it's easier to watch up here because everyone's
Yeah.
more cognizant. But if we have our crew out, if we have one person from our crew out there, whether we go through Joe, go through Veolia, Advance, whoever we go through, have them out there, have a specific time that they come get that dumpster, and we can cap it out there. I think that'd save a lot of grief.
Just go 8 to 4 on Saturday and that's it.
That's it. Or actually, it'd probably be easier. 8 to 4 on Saturday is good, but if we did it during a weekday, we're not going to pick up the Ridgeway and everything.
Yeah, but then again, I've run into this here before. And if you don't do it on Saturday, the people that's working during the week don't have
Yeah.
a chance to get to it.
Don't do anybody.
Joe Nicholas would probably watch that out there for you if you ask him, but,
He's not in any shape to do that.
I mean, input, come on, this is why we have a meeting, input. What do you,
well, I just say, you know, he's out there, he watched it once before.
well, I mean, if we have to get one of our guys to go watch it, so be it. I mean, that's
But
the way
it's a needed accessory, but in the same token, and I'm gonna elate here, right, you know, you go out to Wetmore, and that place is a disgrace. And
It's
they've got-
it's a disaster in
Well,
Wetmore.
that's a disgrace,
Yeah.
yeah, because people actually pile up outside of it because it's there and everybody uses it from Kane to
I know.
Wilcox to.
It's a public dumping ground.
I know.
What,
Well, yeah, and that could happen out there, but if you had, like you said, you put one of the road crew on there or something and say, well, you can't put this in, you can. I think that would solve your.
well, we've got 3 locations. Theoretically, we'll have 3 road crew. We'll just put one at each location.
I think you need one in Russell City as bad as anywhere.
Yeah, well, you need it out there because I know a guy that takes a goddamn front end loader and dumps it in there.
Well, I can't help that either, but.
well, I think we all deserve it. I think that's why everybody pays taxes.
But you
I-
got a hell of a crew out at Four Corners. How many camps is out there? 100?
Yeah, I bet there's 100 camps.
Yeah, certainly. And you know, if these people know that they can get rid of their trash, they're gonna trash it and it's gonna get used.
Oh, yeah.
But they pay their taxes.
Yeah. And them camps pay, you know, they pay their taxes, but for what it is, you know, everybody talks about the taxes that they pay the township is minimal.
Minimal.
Yeah, we probably
minimal.
don't even almost dumpster day.
It
for
costs
what-
us more, it would cost us
Doesn't
more
pay for
the
dumpster day.
dumpster than the taxes we
Yeah.
collect off of all them camps out there. But yet, it's still there. You know,
Well, the
I'm in
camps are
favor of
private
putting a
property,
dumpster on
but
each
yeah.
location, change it at noon, put it in at 8 o'clock, have it in there at 8 o'clock, change it at noon, and pick it up at 4 o'clock. Let's hear some comments.
Well, if you put a few people over there, like, the mayor out there would take all the iron that came in, and, you know, Roy.
Mhm.
And he would be there, just, you know, and he could use the money.
Yeah.
So he would take the iron, and then it would be just,
And I
the
think
few
last year they did that
couches.
here too. They directed the iron on one
Directed
spot.
the iron. And the other thing, I got jumped about the pile of iron out there now, scrap. The reason we use that scrap is to pay our bill because
It's gonna be outrageous, yeah.
yeah, he goes and takes it and he gives us credit for the scrap, which saves us from paying a bill too.
And we're not paying we're not paying a tippage fee on the scrap iron. We got it over there and it helps us a little bit.
well, I'm just saying, you know, there's always somebody that
Oh, yeah.
would help you there, you know, take some of the users and stuff.
I mean, tentatively, I say that we're gonna do it in the 3 locations. We gotta draft up some way that we can kinda limit it to make sure it's for Highland Township. We're gonna do it one day.
One day.
One day and that's it. And whether it's gonna be that whole
Where
time,
can you set it at Highland? That's the next thing.
well, that's something we gotta investigate.
In Highland, it'll go in Bob parking lot.
Bob don't own that. I keep telling you that, and you don't believe
Who
it.
owns the parking lot?
His wife.
Well, yeah, but he speaks for her.
Oh, not anymore.
Not anymore?
They're kind of a little bit.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And we'll go on contingent, we can find spots for it
Well,
too.
yeah, there's.
You know?
I mean,
If
you could
worse
put it-
comes to worse, I'll put it in the Snow Seekers parking lot.
Yeah, I mean, there's places.
Yeah, it can put it in the Snow Seekers parking lot.
But, you know, if he would, or she, whoever.
I don't know. I'd have to talk to Bob and get it. I haven't talked to him in months. I understand he's got his blueprints.
He's had those since the place was down.
No, he just got them here about a month ago.
Oh, no.
He told me he couldn't get them, but I'll tell you, that
Oh,
was a week ago. So
I just heard about a week ago that he just got them. He got the preliminary prints and he's got them. He's supposed to take them down to the building inspector. Okay, now we are going to have trash days. Just got to set a date, and we'll set the date, and we'll set the date next month. It'll be sometime in June.
Do we wanna make a motion, get it over with?
You
Oh, we
wanna
can
make
make
it May for
Huh?
You're gonna have 5,000 campers out
Well, maybe you're right, John.
there.
Or wait, maybe we could wait till later after summer, after it's over, after,
Well, you're not trying to do that, but you do get an influx of four-wheelers and that, you know that. But if you did it in May, prior to,
it's probably too quick for us to do it in May.
No, it ain't.
Well, we'll talk
yeah,
about
to
that.
May, you know.
Yeah, we get it set up. I make a motion that we're gonna proceed with cleanup days, and tentatively, we're gonna try and have a dumpster at, Russell City, Highland, and at the Highland Township Municipal Building.
We'll have 2 or 3 dumpsters.
2 or 3 dumpsters.
Yeah, because this is where your biggest go.
Well, you probably need 2 here at
Yeah,
least.
yeah.
Yeah, 2 or 3, point, yeah. And we will tentatively have a township employee at each location for the,
That's a pretty good idea.
Yes, it is.
That would save a lot of heartache.
And we'll talk about it next meeting, whether we draft something for anything. I mean, we're not gonna have a list of residents and all that stuff, but we're gonna have a little draft.
we'll talk to, what's his name, Helping Hands and get
Helping
his,
Hands.
yeah. Because he's usually, he's the best guy of the bunch to get them.
Okay.
He works with us, okay?
Okay.
Get some quotes off of him and talk to him.
Tech helping.
See if he's got, if he'll have 5 dumpsters. And plus he can change the ones like that.
And tell him and Carrie, and that way we'll know, see what time that they're gonna actually have, cause Pete will take it over to McKean County landfill to see what time he's open, so we can correlate what time we can have it from to when. Cause we do wanna close it the same day.
Okay.
Or even if Pete has to get the dumpsters off site in the same day.
Location to be announced.
You might ought to say you don't need couches and chairs in there too, because that fills them quick.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of couches out in Highland.
Oh, not nearly as many, my neighbor burns a lot of them.
Hey, but you know something that's better than being out in the woods?
Out in the woods, right?
It's better than
what
being
I
thrown
said.
next to somebody's property. I mean, I know it's expensive, but I think it's a good thing.
I
to
know,
do.
when down in Russell City, they get it, I take the Kubota and push them down with a bucket of the Kubota to crash them
That
down.
works, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know whether you could get anybody out there in Highland to do it or not.
Well, there's a couple guys out there got buckets. Rossi's there usually. He'd do it for something to do.
He's a pretty good guy.
Yeah, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I talked to him. Me and Billy met him. That's when I first met him, and we went through some stuff.
Okay. Oh, we had a job interview tonight, and we're going to hire a part-time road employee. It's all contingent on a whole bunch of different things, but we interviewed him and we think that we're going to hire him. So I want everybody know that officially we're going to hire him. What's his name?
I'll just make a motion. I make a motion that we hire John Robison to fill the position of temporary worker for the Highland Township Road Crew.
I'll second that. Okay,
You're a
now,
local
what about the grass cutter?
He's from
We're gonna
Kane.
carry.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to make a motion that we hire, well, you'd like to do it. We want Carrie to actually cut our grass and take care of stuff when she's done with her responsibilities during the day of being a township secretary.
Now, there are a few contingencies that Carrie's
I
gotta,
absolutely am.
Carrie's gotta do. When she punches out here as secretary, she punches in as labor. I want 2 different payrolls, 2 different checks.
I said I can go from secretary to garage in about 2 minutes. I just have to change.
Put her ass to work.
Yes.
So,
Can you find where you have to work?
you know, and
be tough.
the biggest reason that we decided to do that, her husband recommended us, and he said, please. He said, just let her do that, and he said, it gets her off of my back for a couple hours.
And the reason why we're doing that, I mean, Carrie can explain that when she punches in separately is because of the allocation of actually her pay.
Yeah.
Which we went through this before up at Highland
Yeah.
Township, and we finally got it right with this secretary.
Okay.
They're already still in compensation
Okay?
for, on insurance.
She'll get,
It's not
what,
enough
$10 an hour as a labor. And we hired, what we didn't say, we're gonna hire the road worker at $14 an hour.
Is he a local person?
Kane.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we had all of 2 applicants for the job, and the first applicant got another job.
It's pretty hard for what we have to pay to hire someone that fills all these credentials. So if that's the case,
And
if
he
you,
has a CDL.
this gentleman does not have a CDL, but he did say that he was versed at running the backhoe. And actually, we took him out, we showed him how he'd have to be doing some side mowing and everything else, and we went over the roller and stuff. It's pretty hard for what we have and what we're gonna pay to hire someone with a flow-blown
Found
CDL.
somebody that can pass a drug test and do it.
And that was that's part of what we said.
Yeah.
Did the secretary take the test?
Drug test.
She already did
She
the
aced
test.
it.
She
I
did the
did.
test. Okay.
What are you saying, John?
I make a motion, we pay the bills.
I second that.
I make a motion, we adjourn the meeting.
I second that.
Meeting adjourned.
That's for the secretary.
It was a good meeting. It was a good meeting.
I could.